If you clicked on this video, you know exactly why you're here. And I want to be straight up with you guys. I make a lot of sit down videos, and so do all these other gurus on YouTube. And a lot of them are good, but I want to be very, very level with you. And I want to be very transparent about the 4 things that I did that took me from nobody, poor welfare kid in a place where I couldn't even get internet access, to moving to Miami, making millions of dollars, and most importantly, taking care of the people that I love. Life is hard, business is hard, everything is hard. But if you do these 4 things, it's going to make it a lot easier. And this is the only video that you will ever need to have a clear path of what you need to do to become successful. The bad news is there is no little hack that just makes you successful. But the good news is that these 4 things that I'm going to show you are not something that I'm just coming up with for clicks or for views. These are the actual 4 steps and 4 pillars that I focused on that got me from nobody to somebody, from broke to rich, and from struggling to being able to take care of people. Now guys, the first thing that I want to talk about is probably the most boring, but it is genuinely the most important thing that you can do for yourself, and that is your habits. Your habits make who you are. And I've said this several times on videos, and I will continue until the day that I stop making YouTube videos. Your habits are a reflection and a sum of who you are. What does that mean? If your habits added together equals you, like a math equation, then you, by definition, are literally the equivalent of what your habits are. So if your habits are jerking off all day, eating junk food, sleeping till 4 in the afternoon, getting drunk every night, doing stupid shit you fucking know is not good for you, then that's what you are. That's literally as good as you are. However, if your habits are waking up on time, being disciplined, going to the gym, eating clean, even though you would love to eat a cupcake or whatever, you're eating clean because you know it's good for you. You're doing the right habits. You're working even though you don't want to. You'd rather hop on Call of Duty, but instead you're sitting at your desk, you're working. If those are your habits, that quite literally means you are that person. So the cool part about this is your habits not only are a reflection of you currently, it is also a reflection of the future you. So if you have the habits of a millionaire and you have the habits of someone that makes a lot of money or someone that's in great shape or has great relationships, then you will literally become the person that has those things. If you spend your free time escaping your reality, then I'm sorry to let you know, but you're not going to be successful. But if you spend all of your time that you have, your free time, towards getting better in whatever avenue that is, it doesn't have to be business, guys. It can be in the gym. It can be in life, in your relationships, whatever that is. If you actually spend your time and your habits reflect what you want to become, you will become that thing. So let me give you some real examples of these habits. And these are just an example, kind of like an overlay that you can apply to your own life. And this is what I was doing and what I would recommend even if I had like a son and I was trying to tell him this. And guys, by the way, the whole like journaling, morning routine, and like 5-hour morning routine, that's bullshit. Those are not the habits I'm talking about. I'm talking about the daily things that you do over and over and over and over and over again that compound, okay? Journaling is not gonna make you a millionaire, okay? At bare minimum, you should be spending 4 hours a day of focused work on whatever it is that you're aiming to get good at. So if you're working on an e-commerce store, 4 hours a day at least. Working on sales, 4 hours a day at least. Whatever it is, 4 hours of focused work. And if you can't do that, go watch one of my other videos about the dopamine thing and how to actually focus and get your shit together. But 4 hours is the bare minimum. The next thing is you should be going at least 5 times a week to the gym and doing hard workouts. Push yourself. If you're the kind of guy that goes to the gym and just like does the same weight for the like all 365 days of the year, you, my friend, are no better than the guy that doesn't even go to the gym. You should be pushing yourself because stagnation is as bad as going backwards. You're not going forward, so what are you? You're basically going backwards. You want to either go forwards or backwards. You do not want to stay the same. So you need to be pushing yourself, and 5 workouts a week minimum. Guys, we're young men. We are young. You have a lot of testosterone flowing in your body. You're healthy. Your body repairs itself fast. You need to be stacking on muscle as much as you can. You need to be working hard. You need to actually be pushing yourself in the gym. Another thing is regular check-ins with a mentor or someone that is like a little bit above you or a trusted advisor to make sure you're on the right path. This is something that I always have had, honestly, since like I started in business and this whole journey. And it really helped because now I'm kind of in a different spot where I've surpassed some of my mentors and I can't really ask them for the same business advice, but I can't ask them for life advice or for like a reality check of myself. And it's very important, guys, because you can be self-aware, but there's no better awareness than the people that watch you. So I have guys in my life that tell me like, hey, you look like an idiot right now, or what you just posted is stupid. And I really appreciate that advice. And that's a very, very key thing as well. And finally, one of the bare minimums is you should be spending at least an hour a day on self-education. Now, this does not mean going on YouTube and spending an hour watching motivational David Goggins videos. That's the same as getting on Pornhub and just spending your time there. Learn things. It doesn't always have to be business, but like go read a history book Go read the Bible. Go learn how to handle objections. Go learn how to do outreach, whatever it is. Learn at least for an hour a day, because that hour will compound fast. And if you can, more, but that's the minimum. And that's how you get really good, right? I have a lot of knowledge in a lot of different areas. Sales, I'm like the sales guy, right? But I'm a really good marketer, and I'm a really good copywriter, and I'm really good at all these different skills because I've been learning these things since the day I got into business. I guarantee you, if you guys do these things and you actually implement these bare minimum habits, your life will change. I promise you. And this is the bare minimum. Always exceed if you can, always over excel. But this is the bare minimum that I promise you, if you do, will start to change your life. You'll see it and it will get addicting. And then that is going to be history, because you are just going to continue trying to get better every day. The next pillar of the 4 that I know will change your life is self-belief. Guys, self-belief is something that I think I'm going to start talking about more. I've been talking about this a lot with Closer Cartel students when I do my live calls. I'm talking like the whole manifestation thing, quantum physics, how it ties in, like how your mind shapes the reality around you. Like, there's a lot of intense things that we'll get into later. But for the time being, you have to believe in yourself. And if you don't, you'll never make it. And that's like the cold hard truth of the world, guys. I'm sure a lot of you had traumatic childhoods. You had lives that you didn't want. You had bad things happen to you, the same as I did, right? And don't use that as a pity, but use that as like, hey, I've been through like this really bad shit. It's not gonna get much worse. That's how I honestly look at it. Kind of like a glass half full. Like, hey, it's already bad. It's not gonna get much worse. So that is a reason why you should believe in yourself. Like, you've been through it already. And even if you haven't had some traumatic childhood like I have, right? It doesn't matter. Like, you've been through things in your life that should give you belief in yourself. And not only self-belief of like, oh, I'm capable of doing this, but like these limiting beliefs like, oh, money is bad, rich people are evil, like this very cliche things that people say. You have to audit all of this. You got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the right things. And you can't have these limiting beliefs, which are basically like an anti-belief, attacking your mind all day. It's just not going to work. Or, for example, like the belief of if I do the right things every day, year after year, I will become successful. If you believe that, your actions will reflect off of your beliefs. Your actions create the results in your life, and the results in your life are like the trophy at the end where you're like, oh, I did that. But it all starts at belief. It all starts at belief. And without belief, you are literally nothing. And I'll rattle off a couple of these for you guys. Like, these are, you can call them affirmations. I just call them beliefs, but like, oh, I am attracting my dream woman because I am the man that any girl would want to be with. Okay, that's one. Or I am wealthy. I am embodying the habits and the actions of someone that is wealthy. I will become wealthy. I am wealthy. Drill this into your head. And I know if this is the first time you've been introduced to this, it sounds woo-woo. You're like, this guy's fucking crazy. Guys, I'm telling you, I drilled this into my head from like 17, 18, and now it has become subconscious to where I don't have to tell myself these things, and I can catch myself kind of like repeating it in my head. Like, I'm wealthy. I'm the best. I will do this. I have done this. I am doing this. I'm telling you it works. And as a quick note, a couple books for you guys, Think and Grow Rich and Psycho-Cybernetics, which is like the quantum physics science of backing up the law of attraction. So 2 really good books that I would recommend for you guys. This is your foundation, okay? Self-belief, extremely important, and that is the foundation that you will rely on when negative, doubt, any bad like emotion or thought comes back into your mind. You're always rock solid on the belief of I have myself. If all else crumbles around me, I still believe in myself, okay? Guys, I confidently can tell you this. I have no worries of ever going broke. Ever again. Like, obviously I don't want to. I have like the fear of it, but I will never be broke again because I simply won't allow it. And I know that it won't happen because I simply won't allow it to happen. That's self-belief. I believe that'll never happen. I believe with every fiber of my being, I will be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I guarantee you, I promise you, okay? I believe that. You need to instill these beliefs in yourself because I'm telling you guys, it'll change your life. The third pillar is finances. Guys, it doesn't matter how much belief you have. It doesn't matter what your habits are. If you are broke and you stay broke, a lot of these things are going to be very difficult for you to do. Now, I know finances can be a touchy subject, and I want to tell you right now, if you hear me talk about money, or you hear me say, like I said a second ago, I will be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and it makes you shudder or makes you feel uncomfortable, you have a negative self-belief, or you have a negative belief of money, and you need to fix that. Getting your finances in place is a combination of belief, plan, knowing how to do it, like having the know-how and the knowledge, and then implementation and execution. It's that simple, okay? Don't worry about making millions of dollars yet. First, make $10,000, then make $10,000 a month, then make $100,000, then make $100,000 a month, and then worry about the millions. Work your way up that ladder and do it the right way. Talking about how to make money is a very complex subject. I'm going to link a video right here for you guys. This is our #1 video on my channel. It's something that I recommend for anyone to get into. It is literally the easiest way I ever made money in my life. It's something called appointment setting. So if you want to watch that video, it has over 100,000 views. We'll link that right here. But you have to not only believe that you can make the money, know how to make the money, set the goal, right? First, 10K a month, 100K. Then you need the vehicle. And I think the best vehicle for you guys is going to be sales, as the vehicle that did this for me as well. Now, the next part of finances, because finance is like not a one-faceted thing. Once you're making the money, you have to know what you're going to do with it. This is your roadmap. You need to believe that you can make the money. Drill it into your head over and over and over again that you can make that much money. You are worthy of that much money. The next step is you need the know-how. How are we gonna make this money? We're not just gonna talk about it, we gotta go do something. For you guys watching this channel, I'm telling you, sales is the best vehicle for you to get into. You can start with appointment setting because it's way easier than closing. Literally anyone can do it. You can do it in a third world country. You can do it if you don't speak English. You can just type. You don't have to speak on the phone. Appointment setting is gonna be the easiest way to make thousands, like 3 to 7 to even 10K a month online. Then once you're making some money, what do you do with it? You need to save money, invest into yourself, and then reinvest into more education. So that's what I've done literally up until this point, and I still do that. Guys, I will do millions of dollars this year, and we have done millions, but my bank account does not reflect that. And obviously I'm smart with the money. Like, we're not going to go broke if something happens, but I've reinvested so heavy into myself and into my company this year. I'm not taking home a ton of profit, and that's intentional because I'm betting on myself and getting myself better before I try to profit and pocket these millions of dollars. I'll do millions in a year, but all that money goes back into the company or goes back into myself for education. Like when I went to Dubai, I spent $50,000 to go to that mastermind to literally go learn for my business and for myself. So for you guys, you make a little bit of money, you know what you're doing, cool, I'm making some money. Invest in good food, invest in an apartment, invest in a nice place to live, a nice work setup, a nice desk, and then reinvest into more knowledge until you are getting 10K every month. And then you're getting 100K every month, and then you're on the right path. Live below your means. Don't be like couponing, but be smart with your money, guys. You don't have to impress anybody. I'm telling you, I've blown a lot of money just doing different things that I had to learn the hard way. You don't need to impress people. You need to take care of your people. There's a big difference. So on finances, make sure you believe it, you know what you're doing, you have the knowledge and you have a plan, and then you execute on that plan to make it happen. And the fourth pillar that I guarantee you is going to change your guys' life is time and persistence. And this is the most, oh man, I got to do this kind of thing. Guys, it's fucking reality. There is no get rich quick scheme. There is no passive income. All of these things that you've been told about are lies. You've been lied to by people trying to sell you on the fact of like passive income and just get rich quick and make $1 million in the next 60 days. It's not real. It's fake. You need to adjust your timeline for success. And Hormozi talks about this a lot. Let's say I told you, I guarantee you that you're going to be worth $10 million, but it's going to take you 15 years. Would you still want to do it? Because it might. It might take you 15 years. It might take you 10, might take you 5. But don't look at things with the timeline of like, oh, this next year I'm going to be rich. Because then if it doesn't happen, you're like crushed and you lose motivation and you're kind of just going to go down this downward spiral of like, oh, it's not all it's cracked out to be. So be okay. And this isn't saying being lazy or be like content with not being where you want to be, but be understanding of the fact that things take time. I've been in business, like really been in business since like 2020. 2 years prior, I was not doing shit. I was making no money, but 2020 to now. So you're telling me in 3 years, I've gone from zero to millions of dollars a year in sales. Am I where I want to be? No, I'm actually going to fall short of my goal this year and it infuriates me. But am I going to get mad and quit and go off the rails? No, I just need to adjust my timeline and I need to understand that if I want to hit that level that I want to be at, which is a crazy high level, I have to adjust accordingly. And I have to look at what I've been doing. Does it work? Does it not work? Adjust accordingly to go hit that trajectory. And understand, maybe your first year you make 10K and then maybe your second year you make 100K. And then your third, you make 5. And then maybe you make 400K. Maybe you have it down here, but then you make $1 million and then you make 5, right? You don't know, guys. Business is so volatile. I know people that are less knowledgeable and not as good as me, like in business, and they're making more money than me simply because they have a better offer. They just are in a better combination of things. Like, it's so volatile, guys. You can't bank on like this smooth upward crazy trajectory every year. It doesn't work that way. And if 3 to 5 years sounds long for you, let me ask you this. What's your other choice? What is your other choice? Even if you're 18, what is your other choice? You're going to school? Okay, 4 years. Okay, let's say you're 25. 3 to 5 years is a long time. You're 29 and now you're making millions of dollars. What is your other choice? You go get a job and you're broke, you go get on drugs, or you go just ruin your life. Those are your options. So for you to understand, time and persistence is what makes everything work. I will tell you guys, the older you get, time goes faster too. This year's gone by like that. I feel like yesterday I was in Tulum for New Year's and it's just literally been a blur this year. So what that reminds you of is it speeds up and it gets faster, but you also need to be cognizant of the fact that it goes fast. So like you have to work. You're running out of time. We're gonna look back. You're watching this video now and you're like, oh, I got all the time in the world. We're gonna look back when we're 50 years old and be like, bro, where did the time go? Like, where did all these years of my life go? What did you do with your life? If 3 to 5 years is too long for you, or if you can't be patient enough to wait a couple years to make millions of dollars, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna waste your life and you're never gonna get those years back. So guys, those 4 pillars, whether they sound exciting, whether they sound sexy, I sat down and I wrote these today for you guys. These are the things that changed my life. Belief in myself, having the right habits and doing the right actions, like educating myself, working hard, going to the gym, eating clean, being disciplined, being healthy, getting sleep. Like these basic things, that's how you perform. It's like putting oil in a Ferrari. It just is how it works. Understanding your finances, both how to make the money, believing you can make the money, and knowing exactly what to do and actually executing that plan. And then finally, understanding that this is a timeline and you have to be patient. Time in the market, Warren Buffett says, is what trumps all things. Not your timing of your entries, not when you sell, not when you buy. Time in the market beats all. And entrepreneurship and business and life is the same way. So guys, I genuinely hope that you got a lot of value from this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and comment if you like this kind of video. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more raw than some of the recent ones that we've been doing. So let me know if you guys like this, and thank you so much for all the support, and I'll see you guys on the next video.